Good morning, everybody. So the affirmation for this month is, I celebrate all the gifts of my life and I thrive in divine love. Now, we're in Advent. This is the second week in Advent. And although today we're talking about strength, the power of strength, it's also the week that we would normally light the peace candle. And again, I thought that was also perfect, and I'll share more about that as I go along. But I want to go back to the acronym that we're using for the 12 powers, which is faith, will, power, us. And the 12 powers are faith, will, imagination, love, life, power, order, wisdom, enthusiasm, release, understanding, and strength. And today we're talking about strength. And strength is, well, Charles Fillmore said about the 12 powers, he taught that the apostles each represent the 12 spiritual faculties which are inherent in every person. In every one of us, we have these 12 faculties. And when we awaken and develop these powers, we express our divine nature more fully, bringing spiritual principles into everyday life. So it allows us to thrive in divine love that is inherent within us. And strength, I believe, is the sustaining power that supports all of the other 11 powers. As we consciously draw upon our spiritual strength, we awaken our divine potential and live from that deep peace that surpasses all understanding. So the candle that we would normally light today for peace, as we celebrate the second Sunday of Advent, we light this candle reminding us that the peace that surpasses all understanding already resides within us. It's already there. So we affirm peace and allow the peace of God to flow through us. But would anybody argue with me that that takes strength? I mean, right now, normally in life, for me, peace isn't my go-to place, right? Peace is not what's happening in my brain many times with all the busyness of life. And then adding the intensity of the season, it takes strength to maintain peace, and even more strength to remember that that peace is within me all the time, to stop looking outside of me for that peace. So, peaceful living doesn't mean isolation, though. It doesn't mean that there's no noise or no turmoil or no stress. But it means that we can be calm within that turmoil. We just have to decide to access it. We just have to say, yes, I'm going to take a moment and breathe and remember that it's right here. We rely on the peace of God within us to promote calm in our homes, in our lives, and in our world. When we give the gift of peace, we allow it to flow from our hearts like ripples in a lake, sustaining everyone within our circles of influence. Our tranquil demeanor magnifies the peace of God. So, what is spiritual strength? Strength is our capacity to stand undaunted in the midst of shifting circumstances, to act courageously, and to stay the course. In the 12-power system within our human bodies, strength is located at the low back, and it's depicted by a color called spring green. So I went into my closet and dug out my spring green, and it made me amazed at how affected I am and what people think colors are to be worn at certain times of the year. I'm like, I can't believe I'm going to wear this jacket to church today. It's 20 degrees out and I'm wearing spring green. It was really like this argument that I was having. And I'm like, spiritual rides above all of it. There's no fashionistas in here, and if you are, sorry, this is more important to me. So anyway, it's located in the small of the back, and this is where our adrenal glands are found. And the adrenals release adrenaline, giving vitality to respond to whatever is before us. But the adrenaline can energize us for good or be misused and poured into us as negative energy, depending on whether we are aligned with spirit, depending on what we're thinking about. That's why. So the adrenaline is going to be released. If we're stressed, the adrenaline is going to be cortisol. If we're not stressed, it's going to be something else. I don't know what it is, but it's a different thing that gets released.
Yeah.
And that's why the 12 powers must come under the direction of the Christ within us, or love, or the higher power, or divinity, or the spirit within, whatever it is that you want to call it. But it's that consciousness that we're tapping into that lives within each of us. Scripture tells us again and again that our strength comes from God. Seek the kingdom first. When we turn to God, everything shifts. We become aware of a power greater than us, working through us. That awareness is strength. Now, Karen said I called her this week, and I called her because I got her book. This is an amazing book. I've been using it every day, and it's one of those books that you just ask for guidance and you open it up and the answer is there. Similar to the book I wrote, but I think hers is better, so. It was really profound, and because she's so great with words, I mean, it was just, to me, it really felt like this was God speaking to me, even though, or God coming through Karen. It was just amazing. So go out and buy it, guys. So the 3 dimensions, or the 3 ways that strength is used within us, is the mind, body, and spirit, right? But most people think of strength as physical. But we are made of mind, body, and spirit, right? Not just body. So the physical strength is helpful and important, but temporary, because we are not our body alone. We are soul embodied. Our soul is embodied, just long enough to gain the experiences needed to shine brilliantly. So how do we do that? We do that by consciously using our 12 powers. And it's not physical at all. If anything, it may be a little bit more mental, because it's a consciousness that we have to tap into. But, and again, the physical, it's not like physical isn't important, but that's where people normally go when they think of strength. Now, mental strength gives us the capacity to lead ourselves and others on a spiritual path. It empowers us to recognize that all things work together for good, right? Because if it's not good, then it's not over yet, right? If it's not good, it's not over yet. It empowers us to establish and stay true to our goals. And it empowers us to practice spiritual principles every single day. That takes strength. It takes willpower or willingness first. Mental strength develops stability of character, helping us to show up as who we truly are, expressions of God. And then there's spiritual strength. This is the highest expression of strength, our relationship with the divine. It provides both sturdiness and flexibility, the ability to stay anchored in truth while responding with grace to the moment of what is before us. So as a business owner, I heavily rely on both the mental and spiritual. And actually, just now as I'm saying this, I guess as a massage therapist, I also rely on the physical. But as a business owner, I mostly rely on the mental and spiritual. And of course, of late, it's been more of the spiritual, because I've learned that, trusting that God is my source, believing in the principles of abundance, and knowing the right opportunities come in perfect timing. It just keeps getting shown to me over and over and over again. And, it's not like I don't do the footwork. I also have to go out there and make the calls and do what I have to do. But one of the things I think I shared a couple of weeks ago was a major shift happened to me. Instead of thinking, I have to make sales calls, it's, who can I help today? Who can I help today? I love what I do. I love what I'm sharing with people. So it really made a big difference for me. So I stay flexible, following my hunches, and respond to what shows up, even when it's imperfect. One of the things was this week I have my first, I think, they haven't sent the contract back yet, but I think it's going to happen. They sounded very optimistic, but my first 6-month contract in my REAP program. And I thought it'd be corporate America. It's academia. I was just like, I just got a chill when I said that. I was so surprised. It's the town of Groton wants me to come in and talk to their teachers. I was like, wow, this is very cool. So again, I'm thinking I'm going to go for the corporations, and my first one happens to be a school or an huge education department. So anyway, strength and faith work together To hold faith during contraction and expansion requires spiritual strength. It's easy for us to have faith when things are going well, right? We have to have faith when things look like they're not going well. That's where our strength comes in. We have to tap into that energy. Faith is the willingness to see beyond appearances, to look with spiritual eyes, and to be amazed by how God shows up in our lives and in the lives of everyone that we love. And we have to have strength to do that. So there are 3 ways that strength is expressed. It's expressed through courage. Centered in strength, we proceed boldly. Now, one of my favorite words is audacity. Audacity is the willingness to take bold risks. Strength empowers us to act with spiritual audacity. So we all face situations requiring courage, like when others tell jokes that express that at the expense of a culture or a religion or a gender. Strength helps us to honor our values and maybe speak up about that. Spiritual strength also allows us to stand up when a friend keeps us waiting again, and we decide that we're no longer going to wait and we leave. I had to do that literally once, thank God, because it was the end of the relationship. After I waited for her so many times, when she when she came for an appointment for a massage, but also when we would meet as friends. And finally I said, I'm done. I'm so done with waiting. I had talked to her about it first. It wasn't like I all of a sudden said I'm done. I had spoken to her about it several times. Well, that did not go over so great. Anyway, it's okay. She's no longer in my life. She was here to teach me that beautiful lesson of speaking up. And also when a coworker takes credit for our idea, strength helps us to speak the truth. And there are probably many other ways that our spiritual strength is serving us in our everyday life. But remember, if and when we don't act courageously in the moment, it's never too late, right? We can always return to the situation and address it in a stronger, clearer voice. I tend to do that because sometimes when things are happening, if I do what I used to do, which is like attack, which didn't go over so well, I didn't get the results I wanted, I tend now to just be quiet and wait for another time to bring it up when I could be heard and when I could speak in a way that I could be heard. So bold, inspired, courageous action born from spiritual strength creates a thrilling and uplifted life. Another way that strength is expressed is tenacity. In 1953, a small startup company attempted to create a rust prevention solvent. They failed 20, 30, 39 times. On the 40th try, they succeeded. And WD-40, water displacement perfected on the 40th try, was born. Now, who here has WD-40 in their house? Yeah, exactly. It's just amazing. That's tenacity. That's those people. I don't know how many they were, but they just kept trying. Tenacity, persistence, perseverance, stamina provides the staying power to remain committed and stand steady in unsteady circumstances. Together, stability, courage, and tenacity form the habits of spiritual strength. Now, how many people here consider themselves spiritual warriors? Yeah. Now, warriors, this isn't about warriors being at war. It's not about fighting battles, but it's about being an activist for prayer, an advocate for peace, representative of God consciousness. I think if you walked up those stairs, chances are you are all of these. Eventually, physical strength will fail. Somebody stronger will come along. Mental strength alone will lead to confusion and the illusion of power. But spiritual strength is non-resistant. It is our peaceful presence beyond understanding. It is love triumphing despite challenges. We cannot be strong on our own, but we can be with the strength of God that lives within us, with the faith of God that lives within us, with the will of God that lives within us, with the imagination of God that lives within us, with the love of God that lives within us, with the life of God that lives within us, with the power of God that lives within us, with the order of God that lives within us, with the enthusiasm of God that lives within us, with the release of God that lives within us, and with the understanding of God that lives within us, we can do all things. So how many of you want to be and stay strong? Yay. Then stay rooted in your divinity. Stay rooted in God. Celebrate all the gifts of life and thrive in divine love. The 12 powers are gifts given to us so that we may live, move, and have our being in the kingdom of God. We did not inherit any wickedness. We did not inherit any deficiency of any kind. When we need something, call on our powers, encourage them, invite them, appreciate them, and watch them move through you. You are strong because the divine within you is strong. Use that strength in all ways, especially in living in and from a place of peace. I want to say thank you. I'm your sister companion in prayer, possibility, and power. I love you, I appreciate you, and I behold the Christ in you. Until we see each other again, know that you are blessed and a blessing.